So welcome back to another week of trading the 5K profit account. I normally risk $30 to sometimes make $100, sometimes $80, sometimes $240, just like I did some weeks ago. But that also depends on the risk to reward of the trade, that particular trade, and also the amount of lot size I use in entering it, because sometimes I risk $23, right? But if I risk $30 and then the market actually eats my full take profit of 10 weeks to reward, I should be able to make $240 or 100 let's say $180, right? So this week was actually a profitable week. I had one loss and two wins, right? But those two wins, they didn't actually use my take profit. So I'm going to go over to the chart. I'm just going to explain how this week trades turns out, alright? So the very first trade I took on this account was this JBP JPY buy position. This trade happened really fast. Market came and then went directly to my stop loss, and the spread for the prop firm for this trade was very high. It was not tight at all, because when the market gets to my buy limit, it did not even trigger me in. So I had to use the start market execution, and that actually made the stop loss to be bigger. So I used one position instead of entering two. I used one position. Now the second trade I took was on this same JBP JPY. This trade actually did well. This trade did well, but then it did not eat my full take profit. I was supposed to make 7 risks to reward. I was supposed to make $100 from this trade, but I ended up closing it around $80 profit. That is very good, because I say that if you're supposed to make, let's say, $100 from a trade, you can at least close it $80 or $90, right? And the market was consolidating. As soon as the market tapped my entry, the market consolidated, the lot consolidated, and then finally moved to the upside. And then when price gets to this level, I started seeing this range again, so I had to close this particular trade. Okay. And I even thought that there was a news coming out on JBP, because according to the prop firm, I'm not allowed to trade the news. So if I'm holding any trade, let's say they say 3 minutes before the news, but I cannot keep accurate of that 3 minutes. So I will normally close the trade probably 10 minutes to the news or 30 minutes to the news. Right? So it turns out that there was no news on this particular day. So I closed the trade around this exact place. This exact point was where I closed the trade. So I closed this trade around 5 weeks to almost 6 weeks to the run. Right? So that was where I closed this particular position. So I made $70 on this. I lost $27 on this trade, because I was using one position to enter. So I lost $27 on this one. The next trade was actually a Euro card buy position. Euro card buy position. Euro card buy position. This was a trade. This was a trade. When the market tapped in around this level, when the market gets to this area, I was already making profits of around, I think, $60 or $52. Yes, around this area. And I was still supposed to make, because I didn't risk $30 on this particular trade. I didn't risk $30. I think I risked around 20 something dollars. So I was supposed to make I think $130 from this particular trade. And so the market was already giving me $50, so there's no need for me to close this trade. So I head on to the trade. The market consolidated. I head on to the trade from, I think, from on Tuesday to on Wednesday, something like that. Yeah, from a Tuesday to on Wednesday, I think so, or from on Wednesday to on Thursday. But then on Wednesday or Thursday, which is the next day of this particular trade, there is a news, a CPI news. Yeah, I think so. CPI news for Euro. early in the morning. So I add on to this trade for the next day, and then I think 10 minutes before the use, I close out on this position, right? But then I did not actually close out on the $50 profit because the market has already reversed close to my stop loss, right? But I still held on to it. Then the market moved up a little bit, come down again, moved up a little bit, and I think around this level was when I actually closed the trade. Around this level was when I actually closed the trade, and I closed it I think around 20 something dollar profits. So instead of me closing out in $50, I actually closed out in 20 something dollar profit, right? Before the news actually came out, and it was not really an high impact news though. It was not a high impact news, but according to the prop firm, I'm not allowed to trade any news. So any news at all, whether it's being high impact or low impact, I just have to close it. But if it were to be my live account, I'm not going to close it, right? Even if the market hits my stop loss, it will be better. And one thing I've also learned in trading, and from growth that I've also learned in trading, is that for me it is better for the market to hit my stop loss than for me to close the position halfway, right? So if I'm supposed to make, let's say if I'm supposed to make $200 from a trade, at least I should close out, let's say $150 or 170, right? So if I close out in a very bad position, like the regrets of that is even more painful than the market hitting my stop loss. Yeah. So that is why if I see my trade running in profit, I will try my very best to allow the market to just do its thing. Okay. At first, I did not get this idea. At first, I was not this strong. Right. At first, as soon as the market gave me profit, I would just close immediately. But then with time, I begin to work on my trading psychology, and step by step, I'm getting better at it. Right. Because I've noticed that allowing your trade to actually run in profit and making more from your trade is what will actually keep your account and keep you in business, because trading is business, right? And you need money to actually stay in business. So that is what I've actually set myself as to master this year. And then this trade, so at the time making this video on Thursday, I actually analyzed this Euro card buy, but I'm already making this video, so I'm not taking this trade right now. Okay, so the reason why I'm buying Euro card is that after analyzing from the 4-hour time frame, I did a lot of analysis, a lot of buy analysis, even the ones that I didn't even take. I did this buy analysis, but I didn't take it because I already took another position. I think that same day I took position on, I think on JBP, JPY. Yes, I did this buy position, this buy analysis. I did this one, right? But then I didn't take it. The reason why I'm analyzing buy is because from the 4-hour analysis, the directional bias for Euro card is a buy. Alright, so that's why I'm just looking for buy. Even for JBP JPY, that one for JBP JPY might not be really accurate, but the one for Euro card, I'm really sure that it was a buy position. That's why I'm just analyzing for buy, right? So I analyzed this buy, but I didn't actually take it, right? Because I already took the one for JBP JPY. So this buy now, I'm not actually going to take this one as well, because I've already took 3 trades, which is 3 trading days on the Profit account. So my next trade now is going to be from next week. From next week, I'm going to look for position. And one thing about the spread on the Profit account is that I don't know if it's only for Euro card. If I'm in a position, right, then I actually get to hold that position throughout the night. If euro card close, let me say around 10, then the market open again, the jump of the market will not be the same as the jump in my MetaTrader 5. If the market jumps to the upside, my MetaTrader 5 is going to be the opposite direction. So if the market jumps to the upside, the market will jump to my stop loss in MetaTrader 5. That was what actually happened here. But luckily for me, this one did not actually hit my stop loss. It was very, very close to my stop loss, but it did not hit my stop loss. So that's just one thing you need to know. I don't know if it's for only euro card, but I've not head on to any trade overnight on the platform accounts except for euro cards trade. Right? So that's is just it for this week. I think this week I I took BTC trade that I think I also lost on that BTC trade, but that was a very small loss, $11 loss. Right? So this week I'm actually back to the initial profits, initial balance of the account. Right? So next week let's see how it's going to be. I'm only taking my time to analyze the chart, and because I just need to work on one thing left, which is my trading psychology. Right? In terms of analysis, I'm really better. I'm really better in terms of analysis, right? So I'm working on my trading psychology, and yeah, definitely I'll become good at it. That's the only thing stopping me from becoming like, that's the only thing from stopping me to make the actual money that I need to make from the markets, right? And it is something I can work on, and it is something I've actually set myself out to work on this year, because this is my year 2 in trading. To be honest, I ought to be making a lot of money already. Not that a crazy amount of money, but I think very sustainable amount of money. And also, once I'm able to pass the top firm, I'm going to start flipping. Alright. So a lot of you might not actually watch the video to this very end, but if you do manage to watch it, just comment below that you watch it to this end. So I'm going to start flipping very soon, right? Because I just feel like flipping is one of the way you can actually scale up fast, especially if you have little capital. But I'm going to talk on that later on in the future, right? So let's just see how next week is going to be for the account. So have a blessed week, and see you guys next week.